Good evening and welcome to the CCMFans Report. I'm Martha Ficial.
And I'm Martha Ficial.
Tonight, the men face Auckland after a day of storms with barely a shot fired.
The women face a heatwave and bring home 3 points.
And we ask, is the club's new communication strategy silence, or have they just lost the password to the social accounts again? Friday night saw the Mariners host Auckland FC at a very damp Polytech Stadium. The weather gods, consistent as ever, decided that the build-up to a home game required thunderstorms and torrential rain.
It was pissing down all day. As one fan noted on the forum, of course, the Mariners are at home.
The precipitation did clear by kickoff, but the crowds apparently didn't get the memo. The attendance figures were modest.
Modest is generous, Arthur. The forum called it a pathetic crowd. Honestly, there used to be longer lines for a kebab at 3 a.m. after Troppo closed. It was intimate. You could hear the players' boots squeaking.
The first half was a masterclass in one-way traffic. Auckland dominated possession, moved the ball with purpose, and opened the scoring through Jesse Randall in the 20th minute. The Mariners, meanwhile, registered exactly 0 shots in the first 45 minutes.
0 shots. We were about as dangerous as a wet sponge. And yet, Arthur, look at the scoreboard at half-time.
1-1. It defies physics.
It's not physics. It's our star striker. Owen Goal is back in the house.
Yes. In the 33rd minute, Auckland's Callan Elliott decided to show our forwards how it's done. A spectacular diving header past his own keeper.
It was a beautiful finish. The fans were saying it was up there with the best of the season. He's now our second highest goal scorer, isn't he?
Technically, yes. When your opposition is more clinical in your box than your own strikers, you have a structural problem.
It also helps when you have a billionaire owner and special new club salary cap exemptions.
Indeed, they are operating with a war chest while we are checking down the back of the sofa for loose change.
The league changed the loan rules just for them. It's not an expansion team, Arthur. It's a protected species.
But despite the financial disparity, one supporter pointed out we can win without a shot on target. They called it efficiency. I would call it luck. That and Andrew Redmayne.
He was immense. That save in the 14th minute?
It defied gravity. He tipped a header onto the bar that by all rights should have been a goal.
Redders is the only reason it wasn't a cricket score. The forum reckons he's the only one earning his paycheck at the moment.
But even Redmayne couldn't hold back the tide forever. Luck ran out in the 58th minute when Sam Cosgrove restored Auckland's lead. 2-1.
We threw everything at them in the final stages. Warren Moon emptied the bench. Edmondson, Nior, Duarte, trying to find a spark.
But the night ended in frustration, quite literally, as Arthur de Lima pulled a hamstring in stoppage time. With no substitutions left, the team was forced to finish the match with 10 men.
Adding injury to insult. A 2-1 loss at home, barely a shot fired, and a goal scored by the opposition.
Not a vintage evening.
But hey, at least the kids in the stands kept singing. They put more effort in than the weather did.
We turn now to club administration. The fans have been vocal about some peculiarities in communication recently. Joining us to explain the industry logic is Gary from marketing.
Great to be back in the ecosystem, Arthur. And just for accuracy, it's Vice President, Strategic Brand Alignment and Holistic Fan Journey Architecture. Independent consultant, of course.
Right. Let's talk about the club's new promotional strategy, hide and seek. First, they go completely silent on social media. Then, they send an email where the kickoff time is buried in the fine print like a Where's Wally puzzle.
What you're calling buried, Arthur, the industry classifies as Gamified Cognitive Discovery. Clubs are pivoting away from passive information feeding to active data excavation. If a fan has to scroll, squint, and investigate to find a kickoff time, they are engaging with the brand assets at a forensic level. It maximizes time on page through strategic confusion. It's genius.
I see. And what about the distribution? We have reports of households with multiple members where only one person receives the email, and it's usually the 6-year-old child.
That is the Highlander protocol. There can be only one. We designate a single point of contact per household unit to avoid inbox cannibalization. We target the 6-year-old because they are the primary emotional disruptor. It's a bottom-up influence funnel.
Well, the kids are always on their devices these days.
Exactly, Martha. It's about leveraging the youth demographic to drive parental compliance.
Moving on. Last week, despite the forecast predicting a searing 38 degrees, the club sent an email encouraging fans to get out in the cool afternoon air. The match was eventually moved to Sunday night due to the extreme heat.
We call that aspirational thermal narrativizing. You don't want to market the weather, that is, Arthur. You market the atmospheric reality the brand identifies with. It was a manifestation exercise.
It was dangerous heat, Gary.
It was a high-velocity solar engagement event, and by moving the game, they created a double-tap scheduling moment, 2 operational touchpoints for the price of 1 logistic failure. That is, synergy.
Finally, the "We missed you" emails. The club is now targeting fully paid-up members, people who have already funded the entire season, with automated messages admonishing them for non-attendance. This includes people trapped by bushfires, people dealing with storms, and, bizarrely, people who were actually at the game.
Ah yes, the Automated Intimacy at Scale initiative, or as I call it, the Guilt Loop Retention Matrix.
It's annoying people, Gary.
It's a high-friction emotional anchor. Whether they attended or not is a legacy metric. The point is, the system felt their absence. It's algorithmic love, Arthur. They are democratizing the sensation of being missed. It's consistent, it's persistent, and it's beautiful.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, Gary?
Absolutely, Arthur. I think it's crucial we discuss the overarching meta strategy of...
Are you quite finished?
Oh, I was just allowing for the latency. We experienced a sudden bandwidth misalignment last time I was on, but if we are still operational, the granular friction...
Sunday took us to Wanderers Football Park, where the heat was the first opponent. With the mercury climbing rapidly, common sense, a rare commodity in football administration, prevailed, and the kickoff was pushed back to 7 p.m.
And thank goodness for that. Although, naturally, half the forum didn't know about the change because, as discussed, the communication strategy relies on telepathy.
Despite the delay, the Mariners started with intent. In the 18th minute, Lorena Baumann provided a perfect through ball for Isabella Coco Di Scipio, who slotted it home to make it 1-0.
Finally, a striker scoring a goal. It's a novel concept, Arthur, but I think it might catch on.
10 minutes later, Isabel Gomez decided to double the lead. A right-footed shot from the centre of the box found the top corner, 2-0 inside half an hour.
It was Izzy Mania.
It was confusing is what it was. The commentator seemed determined to call both Isabella Coco Di Scipio and Isabel Gomez Izzy. It made taking notes impossible. Izzy passes to Izzy, who crosses to Izzy. It sounded like a glitch in the simulation.
It certainly was a tongue twister. But to be fair, they were both playing so well it hardly mattered which Izzy was which.
True enough. As long as the ball ends up in the net, I suppose we can forgive the commentary team their shortcuts.
The fans were absolutely buzzing with the result, and the pre-game venue was a hit too. One fan was particularly impressed by the value of the $6 schooners at the Rooty Hill RSL before kickoff.
Excellent market research. The second half was less fluent. Western Sydney clawed one back in the 90th minute through Talia Younis.
And didn't the commentator love that? He spent the final 10 minutes desperately urging the Wanderers on, trying to manifest a grandstand finish.
He was obsessed. I counted him saying it about 20 times. It sounded less like commentary and more like he was trying to cast a spell.
Well, the spell failed, the girls held on, and we took the 2-1 victory.
A grandstand finish for us, then.
Exactly. That's 6 points in 2 weeks for the girls, and beating the Wanderers always tastes sweeter. As one eloquent fan put it, suck shit, Wander scum.
Poetry. To bring some empirical rigour to these proceedings, we are joined by our senior data analyst, Anna Lytics. Anna, what do the numbers tell us?
Thank you, Arthur. I have processed the weekend's events. The results are geometrically displeasing.
Start with the men.
The men's XG, expected goals, for the match against Auckland was 0.27. To put that in perspective, 0.27 is statistically lower than the probability of finding a sober supporter at the Gosford Hotel on a Friday night. We created less threat than a rounding error.
But we scored a goal, Anna.
Incorrect. Auckland scored a goal for us. That is a statistical anomaly known as charity. It is not a sustainable business model.
And the women?
The women's team recorded an XG of just 0.43, yet scored 2 goals. This represents a conversion efficiency of 465%. Scientifically, this is highly improbable. Emotionally, it is good.
A rare bright spot, then.
In conclusion, the men are statistically impotent, the women are statistical outliers, and I calculate a 99% chance of more rain next home game. We are cooked.
Thank you, Anna. Cheery as always. And now, the Mooned Report. A precise accounting of the men's season thus far. The Mariners have mooned 2 teams, 2 half-moons, and 4 lunar eclipses.
4 losses hurts, Arthur. 2 wins is, well, it's keeping the lights on. Barely.
To the ladders, the men sit in 9th position, while the women occupy 4th place. Looking ahead, the women travel to Canberra on Saturday the 20th for a 5:30 p.m. kickoff, while the men cross the ditch to face Wellington on Sunday the 21st at 1 p.m. And that concludes our review of a weekend that offered both storms and silence.
We'll see you next week, hopefully with better weather, clearer emails, and maybe even a shot on target from the boys.
One can only hope. Until next time, if you're still watching, I admire your stamina. This has been the CCM Fans Report.